Hey everybody, it's Mike over here at Growtopia, and we are on another week of adventures on re-updating, redoing, restarting the growing, the homestead, the farm, whatever you want to like to call it. I like to call it the little mini backyard farming. It's like a version of homesteading to a point. It's gardening, whatever you like to call it. I call it just about everything under the sun. And this week is all about level. Now, as you can tell here, we have this bed here, we have that bed there, we have that long bed that's back there, but also we have a lot of uneven surfaces in here as well. That's going to contribute to a lot of different issues. One of the issues is that I want to actually extend my growing space literally up onto the asphalt, onto the concrete that's here. And to do that involves some soil and some bringing up the ground height. Now, there's a lot of different ways I can go about this. I'm not trying to make this look pretty, but I also wanted to make it, I want it to look good, but also be very functional, of course. So there's a couple things that are going to come into play. First thing is I got to remove the blueberry bush that's there. I'm going to be taking that out and putting that someplace else. The catmint plant, that's going to stay. And the raspberries are going to have to get pulled out of here as well, because they're going to constantly keep coming back and causing problems. But I also got to go through here again, clean up some more of the garbage that's in here, but also a couple other things that are going to be done as well. For starters, I'm going to be shooting this in stages. I'm not going to be running the camera constantly. So I'm going to show you what we have and what we're going to be doing. So we have our cutter here for any of the roots that we got to deal with. We got a flat shovel for shoveling up most of the stuff, try to push it in there. We have two different types of tillers. Now we have the electric one. This guy's a lot heavy dutier. It goes down a lot deeper. I got a battery operated one from Ryobi as well. They're both from Ryobi. This is a handheld version. This is kind of more or less for the dusting. I got topsoil that I picked up, 12 bags of topsoil. And I have a new rake that I'm going to be trying out that started off with a nice construction up here, and then for some reason they wanted to go for hardware down there. So I really don't have trust in that lasting too long. I do have a new hose that I do have to put on. I have a splitter that I got to put on there as well. This separates the automatic watering system from the hose, which I had an epiphany that if there was ever a fire, I would have to log into the automatic watering system with the Bluetooth on my phone just to access the water. So that's really stupid. So we're going to be installing a splitter on that as well. And then I bought some different hardware to fix the greenhouse, because the stuff that I was using before, the hardware actually wasn't working right. I know that sounds stupid. I tried installing it, and for some weird reason it just seemed like it was not able to work on it. I know it's a really hard thing to try to explain, but it was not compatible. That's the word I was looking for. So I bought wall anchors, which I know is not what it's meant for, but the concept behind it, when I get into that, I'll show you. But right now, I'm going to be pulling the stuff off, dragging the electrical cords. I got to go grab my big lawnmower, because I want to definitely try to clean up as much as I can. I got some more garbage I got to pull out of here that I didn't realize that is in here, so I'll be pulling that out and just throwing that into the army truck. But this week is literally just about leveling, so I hope you guys like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. Keep watching the video. And this is definitely going to look so much better. I have all the stuff that I need for at least next week, and I got beds coming today that's for a following week. So each week I'm going to be doing something different, but this week is all about level. All right, give you guys a little taste of what's going on. So I'll show you how that works. What I'm doing is pulling the dirt back. I'll show you that. I heard like a weird stuff. Anyway, how things are going there here. I've had this sitting for a while. Wouldn't be surprised if it's finally shot. I'll buy a new one of those. But anyway, what we do have as the backup, which is the new one I bought. It's the battery operated, so no fuels. And that's the same feature. You can go forward or backwards. It's not as powerful, it takes a little longer, but it's the job done. I'm pulling the soil down to level it. A little easier. High speed. Quieter, lighter. And the best part is I don't have to worry about the extension cord at the same time. Real one-handed too. What's great is it stops right away, and I can keep moving along. The batteries it takes is the same batteries for my drill, so that's good. I got tons of the 4 amp batteries. You know, like here's a nice one that's fully charged. It's a Ryobi one. The one I'm using is not even a Ryobi, it's something I bought on Amazon. It's got 2 bars left and we're running it on high speed. And that's it. So that's the first one. It's going to be a little bit more, it's going to take a lot longer now. I definitely heard a weird pop inside of that thing. I know it looks pretty bunched up with stuff. That one's a little hard to take it all apart. This one is literally just a pin. You pop the 1 pin out on each side. Both sides come out. You clean them. You stick them back on. Throw a little WD-40, whatever, and that's it. So, whew, and it's getting pretty humid out here, so I'm taking my breaks and also cleaning up as I go along. And the robins and the catbirds are up my butt right now because I'm stirring up everything. But so like I'm probably going to put some fill in here because that's a low spot, and then this is kind of like a little bit of a low spot here, and I think that top bar over there is going to level out really nice, and I could bring the soil this way, kind of on the right side, maybe a little on the left. So I got 12 bags of topsoil. It may be overkill, but I'd rather have overkill than underkill. So I'm only going to drop like a bag or 2 at a time and see how it goes and keeps moving along. But this is the progress so far. So even though a machine breaks or you have breakdowns, there's always other solutions. And if everything else breaks, we still have the rake that I bought. But I am going to be using that rake as well to try to level out stuff. It's not going to be for really getting in there. There's a lot of roots from everything, and trees and plants and everything that I've been growing in here for over 5 years. So it's a very rooty thing, so you don't want to really kill yourself. And I notice the more I work, the more bushier my beard gets. I like push it down and then I start looking like a hobo. Are they even allowed to say these days anymore? I don't know. But anyway, it's funny, I went in the house, I looked at the circuit breakers, all the lights were still on, flipped the breakers back on, flipped them off, flipped them on that are for out here, and still nothing. I was already having issues with it this morning, just trying to get started. But that's just an update. All right, let me get back to work. Just about to see my little catbird buddy out here. So every time where we go? Every time I move the dirt around, this little one just comes through and picks up all the worms and the bugs and the beetles and fuzzies. It doesn't go far. It's kind of hard to see him zoomed in on the phone. There he is. Just come a little closer. Hey, buddy. Buddy. Hey, I don't know what to call you. My yard cleaner. Hey, buddy. You're really close to me right now. Hey, I'm standing here. Alright guys, so a little cleaning of the handheld tiller, cultivator, what do you want to call it. It's super simple, super easy, right? Now I do not suggest using a battery. I do it because I'm using a certain amount of pressure where I'm not damaging the battery, but I would say use something else like a hammer or something, or anything. It's basically what you do is you want to remove the clip. So what I do is I just kind of tap it. I'm not hitting it hard, it's literally a tap tap. Okay, put the clip off to the side. So much easier than the other one. Shimmy it up. Now if it's really super packed, I'd say try to get in there and cut it. Otherwise, I didn't cut any of it today, and I had a couple times it was super packed, and I just popped the clip off and I just moved stuff from the teeth and then just went from there. But always make sure you put the teeth, the blades on the, whatever your surface is. So like this is my top blade, you put it there. My bottom blade would then be below it, just so it's all in the right order. You can see how it's just easy to pop it up, right, like such. Put it the way that it goes back on, otherwise you're going to get screwed up. You could actually just kind of shimmy it just up. That's a little tight. You could shimmy it up. You're going to see, which is basically 5 years of different plants that I've been growing out here. So I just sweep the dirt away like such. I did this probably about 5 or 6 times today. Take this, slide it back on. It only goes one way, so the thing actually has a notch on it. You see the notching on it? So you just kind of rotate it. If you can't find the notch, it falls back on. This one goes next. Now, the pin location. It depends on where you want your pin that's easily accessible. You could either have it from the back or you could have it from the front. There's really no difference. The difference is when you're trying to take it off. I've done both sides and I still had easy success using the battery, just tapping it. What I mean by tapping is I'm using, as you can tell, a lot of my batteries have that, is I'm just tapping the ends here, like that, just to help assist it off, because it's hard to really grab. Because when you slide it back on, it goes through a hole, like such, and it gets locked right in, like that. Okay? So now if we go to the other side, you can see how it is. Now if I go to try to pull it, this one I was able to get, because there was a lot less material on it. But when it's super packed, honestly the battery way of doing it is an easy option if you have a spare battery or anything on you. It's just, it's not something that the company obviously wants you to do, because if you tap it too hard and you put a hole in the battery and then you sue the company and then you sue me because you exploded, or etc, because you're an idiot. So I would say if you are an idiot, use a hammer or something that's not a battery. But look at this, like the roots. It looks like a bird's nest, right? It's crazy. The birds are kind of like, what's he doing? He's throwing out birds' nests. Like, nah. You guys make better shit. I like that. Slip this back on here. Slip this back into here. Put the pin back in on my little hole, like that. It locks in. Now you can see that there's, I'm going to bring it closer, but you can see that there's 3 bolts on it, so it's easier when the, obviously this is up here than down there. As you can see how it always do it. That's how I learned it from the manual. You could put it from here too, it doesn't matter. I just kind of do that either way, but actually that seems to be locked in tighter than the other side. Oh yeah, look at that. So that's actually tighter. So I'm stupid. So don't have it this way towards the little guy instead of the two on top. But anyway, I go back and forth. It really did make a difference for me. I would say definitely this is a great buy. I bought it originally to do the beds in here. I didn't buy it to redo the whole place. So it's kind of funny. It says I needed something small that can go in there and till it up a little bit. And then obviously the big guy blew. So there was like a little weird sound on camera, and then after the fact I was like, all right, I stopped filming. I started listening to music, had a couple drinks, I transitioned to something else, and I was able to get it started again. It was just something with the plug. And then as I started going along, it went pop, and I saw a little like smoke come out of the back of it. I've had that thing probably since it came out, years and years ago. And I'm not really surprised it blew, because I think I'm on my second portable ice maker for the house. I think I'm on my third coffee maker. So eventually things are going to break down, and you either fix them or you replace them. A lot of this stuff, honestly, if you could fix it, that's great. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to buy a new one. So that's a lot of people's view. And honestly, Ryobi is probably one of the best products I've ever come across that I've used. Even though I've been using it since I was 16 and I'm 36 now, that's 20 years I've been using these products. And my only complaint is that people that are friends of mine that are using other products that are breaking as soon as they touch them, wasted more money for a product that they could have got cheaper that lasted longer. But, I mean, it depends on what you're putting it through. So, I put all my stuff through the extreme, and so anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. I'm gonna put this in the army truck. We're done, we're wrapping up. I'll show you guys the rest of the yard and some other stuff to talk about. Alright, so we installed the new two-way from Rain Point. This is on, this is off. It doesn't leak, it's under pressure right now. I was testing it. I also installed the new section of hose, which is why you see a lot of water on top. I was kind of getting a little wet and wild. Went on nice and easy. Everything connects. It's under water pressure right now. It's not leaking at all. So I'm very satisfied by it. I did spray the house in the process of playing with the hose. In case you guys don't believe me, I can turn here. Turns really nice and easy. And I have it on intentionally so the hose would drain. And then I just flip it off. To run the Orbitz 4-ways, you have to have the water pressure on all the time. So make sure all your plumbing is good, otherwise you're going to have leaks in your house or leaks outside your house. So we have 3 zones left. That's going to be down the line of me showing you how I'm going to custom make my soaker sections. So this is what we're working with now. So I took about 12 bags of topsoil, I put it in here. I completely raked it out as much as I could, and also used the little handheld cultivator, tiller, whatever you want to call it. I used the topsoil to fill in the spots that were low. Now, of course, if you're running the weed and weed suppressant, what do you call it, the weed fabric and the artificial grass, I see a lot of people putting stone and sand down. I'm not really worried about making it super flat. I'm worried about making it functional. So I might actually have to come back in next week with some more topsoil to try to level it out. But honestly, I want to leave it like this, the way it is. I was going to go back through my mower and mow it down multiple times. Because honestly, my mower was actually leveling it better than I was. Even though it was picking up a little bit of soil, it was picking up the grass and the wood chips, it was leveling it down a lot better. You see there's a lot of miscellaneous stuff that's in there that's all going to get covered. I'm not picking up the tags. I'm not picking up the peat pods. I'm literally going to cover it all up. I know a lot of people are going to complain about it, but I really don't care. Okay? I don't want to go down the road of putting the gravel and the stone and a compactor and stuff. If you're doing that on your property to make it so it's super flat and it looks like real sod, go for it. I'm not doing that. So I'm doing the non-extreme, but it is also very expensive. This video alone, I'm going to say, what was it? It was $53 to $55. I can't remember what it was. Let's just say it was $60. Okay, it was $60 in Jesus. It was $60 in topsoil, and it was blowing a old handheld cultivator, is what it says on it, that I've had for years. So I don't really incorporate that into the cost. I don't incorporate the cost of my time into it. But it was about $60, let's say, in change for 12 bags of topsoil that are 40 pounds each, dry. It's dry topsoil, not 40 pounds wet. They sell it dry, so you get more for your money. It was about $3, I think it was, a bag, something like that, $2 to $3 a bag. So I've used it before. I've had no problem with it. It's very clean. There's no wood chips, there's no nails, there's nothing bad in it. It's just a nice solid soil. And I laid it out because you can see in some of the dark spots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where most of them were. This was a very low spot. This was another low spot. That one just literally one bag spread out, and then those two are just one bag each spread out. But most of it went here. So that's literally what we have working with right now, without running the mower through it again, where it's going to suck up all the stuff. But also I want my new friends, the catbirds. I'll drop some photos down below, or some photos in the video after what I'm talking about, that have been hanging out with me. And there's two of them. They're really cool. I've been calling them Buddy because it's kind of funny. They've been hanging out with me, and I call them Buddy, and I talk to them. They have no problem with the music blasting. And before, I was standing literally over here, and I was done. I was sweeping stuff in, trying to sweep it. I got more sweeping to do, but I'm done for today, this week. And I was sweeping it in, and I'm holding on to the broom, and a little catbird, not for nothing, was like 3 feet away from me, landed next to me, picked up a big giant green worm. And I looked at it, and it looked at me with this big worm wiggling in its mouth, and I was like, where the fuck did you get that? And thank you, buddy. I was like, holy shit. And it just sat there, flew away, came back, and was just kind of following me around when I was sweeping. So it was pretty cool. And then my mother always wanted to see catbirds. We saw them at our old house years and years ago, and now they're here, so it's pretty cool. So she was sitting out here watching me do my thing out here, raking along, and then the catbird's not that far from where I was when I was raking and trying to level. So I'd say, like, the new rake that I bought, even though I kind of had doubts with it, it's actually, I mean, it's kind of buried right now under a garbage bag, but the teethy side is really good. Unfortunately, I got like 5 years worth of multiple plant harvests in there, so it's really hard. You don't want to pull your shoulder or have a hernia or pull your back. But the top section that's kind of like a little toothy over there is really nice for like leveling. And that's what I did to level as much as I could of this. So I'm pretty satisfied of it. I got a couple more things I'm going to talk about, and then we'll wrap up the video. So keep watching, more to come. So one thing that actually happened to me during the winter that was kind of comically stupid was that my new snowblower was a little bit hungrier than I thought it was. This is literally not cut by a blade. This is cut by my snowblower that I had gotten from Ryobi. If you ever saw any of my other videos, you would have seen that whole incident. So what happened is I was over, and I know my phone's starting to glitch, I think because it's getting hot. I was over by the watering system, and I was stupid enough to not make sure my hose was put away. We had this monster snowstorm that came into New York, and we had gotten like almost 2.5 feet out here. My hose was laid out on the ground like such. Well, the snowblower scrapes the ground. You can imagine what happened. So all of a sudden, as I'm going along, and this thing is loud, it's like, and it's battery operated. It takes the same big batteries that the lawnmower takes. It takes 4 of them. I'm like, snow's flying onto my neighbor's yards. Some aren't here. They're on vacation. They're not gonna know. And all of a sudden I hear, I'm like, the hell is that sound? And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And all of a sudden out of the chute, I start seeing these weird green sections come flying out of this chute of the snowblower. And I'm like, the hell is that? And it's this color green. And it's this piece, that piece, and other stuff. And then all of a sudden it just locks. And I'm like, man, what the hell happened? This thing is heavy. It's 250 pounds. It is self-propelled. You can go forward and reverse. I couldn't move this sucker. So I drove it back to my garage under its self-propelled system, which is nice because it doesn't have to have the blade spinning. So I go back to my garage, and what do I see is Godzilla wrapped inside my snowblower, which is the Flexzilla hose that I really love having. And this was a cut piece that I cut so I can get out of the backyard, and it literally cut the section of it. Well, it's a pretty pricey hose, to say the least, and I was like, man, I got it. And I run 2 sections of it. So I run each section that I have is 100 feet, so I run 200 feet of hose. So I lost a section of it, is what I was hoping, which I did. So I lost 100 feet of it. Thank God I had 100 feet left inside my garage, because otherwise I would have been really upset, because it's really expensive. So I'm like, you know what? Lesson learned. Put your shit away, because otherwise your snowblower will eat your hose. Which, at the same time, I was really impressed and excited, but I was also really scared, because I'm like, well, if it ate a hose, it could eat a body. But so I just replaced that now with a spare hose that I had bought a while ago, for whatever reason. And yeah, so I'm just going to be wrapping stuff up, and then we'll be getting out of here very shortly. All right, so we're done. Me, myself, and I, and the catbirds, we loaded all the garbage into the back of the army truck. We have the 2 bags of garbage that came out of here, plus obviously the cultivator, all the tools. Some people ask me, why do you bring your vehicle into the backyard when you could just carry it? Honestly, it's a hell of a lot easier, because when you're done and you're shot like I am, you could just load it and start it, and that's it. You know, I don't have to now spend 8 million trips bringing everything back up front. You know, we got the batteries, we got the cultivator. I didn't touch the greenhouse because I didn't have my drill, so I'll do that tomorrow. Garbage pail, garbage bags, multiple tools. That's really about it. Whew. Breathing a little too much exhaust back there. Alright, let's get inside. It's a big boy. Inside. Here we go. Fall down in the process. Whew. Don't breathe in the fumes. Alright. A little driving vision here. It's easier too. Plus, I like driving my truck, so. And then I watch the rear view mirror to make sure nothing falls off the back. So we get a little squirrely up in here. I gotta go back and pick it up. A little tight trying to get out the gate. See, the wind has pushed the gate closed just a smidge. But we just weasel our way through. Such, so you guys can see the other side. Let's look at that, like a glove, right? I'm gonna go back, and each week, you know, the truck sits here, and then we look say. That, and that was the wood. That is the raised beds that I ordered for a week or two from now have arrived. Oh my God, sweet Jesus. Well, and you guess what I'm going to be doing is unboxing and put more boxes up front. Oh boy. Well, that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Get out there and grow and rake and redo. Just remember that you could always redo what you did in case you don't like it. Anyway, guys, this is Mike over here at Growtopia. Later.